listening to your brain on air. The program will begin shortly. Enjoy.
أنت تستمع إلى عقلك على الهواء. سيبدأ البرنامج قريبا. استمتع.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Your Brain on Air. I am your host, Ollie Vogt Larson, and yo, homeboy, where you been, man? We've been looking for you. Yeah, we ain't seen you around Burger World lately, so where you been, huh? You want a piece of pizza? I think I got an extra piece around here somewhere. Yo, ding dong, man, ding dong, yo, eat this, man, it's good for you. Hey, man, what it is with you? You on some kind of diet? Is that what they teach you at that little sissy school of yours? The question is, are you fat or what? For those of you that aren't Weird Al fans, I'm sorry, this is so alienating. Christ, what am I doing? I've lost so many viewers with this bit. I don't even care, I love Weird Al, so I'm just gonna do it. For those of you that haven't, I'm sorry. Those of you that might not have lost a significant amount of weight in your life, this really is how your friends, your relatives, and current fatties start moving around you. They start going, yo, bro, you gotta eat. It's like, I'm sorry. I'm trying to explore something that clavicular calls facial angularity. You know, these bony things that you start to see after you don't eat for a while, those things are called jawbones, man. Those are normal to see. They let you mog, you know what I mean? That's why Gavin Newsom is gonna win the 2028 election, because he mogs J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance, his jawline is hidden. It's tucked away in the fat. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's like you get European average body weight and Americans start accusing you of malnutrition. It's like, bro, it's like, come on. I've seen people's bodies when they're forced to live on literally what they got. I've got a relative from a third world country that I've lived with for the longest time. She was always slender and no one ever gave her shit for it. It's just kind of how she was built. You know what I mean? And I'm honestly proud. I'm proud to continue that tradition. You know what I mean? I know when to stop. I'm eating my whole milk, folks. Don't yell at me. I'm eating my red meat, RFK, the proper nutrients, you know what I mean? I know many people are going to give me shit because it's like, he flipped the food pyramid. Maybe it's right. Maybe we got it right this time. Maybe South Park was correct that like we needed to just flip it upside down and all of our solutions would be correct. I don't know. Listen, I know I'm going to get a lot of shit because I do publicly support RFK Jr. and it routinely gets me a lot of shit from Democratic-leaning people. And I know many Democrats are not fans of him. That's okay. They say, like, you ain't down with us no more. You ain't Dem. You ain't Dem. And I go, you ain't Dem. You ain't nothing. You ain't nothing. Folks, if you've never seen the Bad music video, that's literally the Democratic primaries of the 2028. I am... In this example, Michael Jackson. I know, it's unfair to compare myself, but like for real, like we just have the same aura, we're legit, we're cool, we're better than everybody, that's just what it is. My fellow Democrats and left-leaning individuals, they're like, you're getting soft, you ain't a Dem, and they make me go prove that I'm a Dem by, we're gonna go rob Bobby Kennedy, that's what they say. They're like, you gotta prove that you're down with the Democrats, let's go rob Bobby Kennedy. And then here's the scene, literally, it's like the scene from the music video. Where is it? Do I have it pulled in? Yes, I do, here it is.
Are you bad?
Are you Dem? Are you Lib?
Or is that what they teach you up at that little sissy school?
That little Republican school of yours.
Who your friends are?
You forget who your friends are?
I don't care what they teach you up there.
I don't care.
You either down or you ain't down.
You either down with the pronouns or you ain't.
So the question is, are
Are you
you bad?
Lib or what? And I'm like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'm tired of you messing with me, man. Stop it.
Leave me alone.
I'm Lib. Get out of my way, man. And then they're like, all right, let's go rob Bobby Kennedy. If you're so liberal, let's go rob Bobby Kennedy. And then here, I have to go distract him. Here's Bobby walking to his car, and then I'm supposed to stop him, and then all of my Democrat friends are the ones hiding behind the things. Here it goes. They're peeking around the corner, and then I'm supposed to go like, hey, give me a quarter. And he's like, how about some liquid silver? How about some liquid silver instead of a quarter? No tengo chavo. Move it, run! Go save the country!
What are you doing?
And they're like, what are you doing? You ain't down with us no more.
You ain't bad.
You ain't Democrat. You ain't Lib. And I'm like, you ain't Lib. You ain't nothing. You ain't nothing. Alex Jones, Cheryl Hines, JFK Jr., Ted Gunderson, all them jump out. Man, that's the crew that you run with when you run when you're liberal, but you run just opposed to the Democratic Party. That's how it feels, man. They're like, you ain't down with us no more. You ain't Dem. You ain't Dem. And it's like, you ain't lib. You ain't nothing. I'm sorry. That's the facts. You're indoctrinated. You guys blindly hate him because establishment told you to. None of you can meaningfully list anything he's done over his career. It's okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what they say, folks. She Benjamin on my net till I Yahoo. She Strogan on my beef till I'm off. How do white people get Alzheimer's and still somehow remember they don't like blacks? Folks, and now they're making a Minions movie without Bob, Stewart, or Kevin. You can't do it. It's disgusting. You want to know the Israeli lifestyle? How about I loan you some money with interest? You want to know the Arab lifestyle? If you're a woman, go inside and stay there. Folks, my engine name, if you don't know, is Pouncing Vegetable Oil, because I am the one who floats like the fry bread, and I'm the one who stings like the grease. Let's go then. You made me do this. I'm about to finish y'all with the indigenous hook. Oh yay. Anyone who wants to get beat up from the feet up, come meet up with me, ladies and gentlemen. I love the energy we're coming into today with. It's a Friday. We can have as much fun as we want. We can do anything we want. We're having a good time. And just so you know, I got that name in an official peace pipe ceremony, not with Pocahontas, but it was close enough. So I think that's my name now. I think that I'm allowed to put that. Can you put that on government documents? Can I put my Native American name on government documents? Can I put my indigenous name? Maybe that's a better way to say it. On my government ID. Yes, in many cases, you can use an indigenous or traditional name on government identification, though policies vary significantly between Canada and the United States. The United States, tribal IDs as an official document, proof of photo ID issued by the federally recognized Native American tribe is official document. So wait, I'm gonna have to go to the tribe, and they're gonna have to get my fucking name certified? That's bullshit. All right, come on. I just wanted to be able to go like, hey, I'm like Pouncing Grease Oil. That's my name. That's literally what my name is. It was given to me during a ceremony because they said I float like the fry bread and I sting like the grease, and that's what they told me. It's not racist. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've lived here my whole life. I can say whatever I want. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna jump into our first story. I hope that you've had a wonderful week. Quite frankly, it's been a rough one, you know what I mean? It's like the temperature is transitioning. I know a lot of people with colds for some reason right now. People are getting sick because it's that normal transition from like the below 20 kind of weather into like the 30s. I'm not saying that I'm against the weather getting nice, but honestly, I'm seeing people in their shorts already. They need to relax, quite frankly. I've lived here in my life, my entire life, Minnesota. I understand people like to get out when the weather gets nice, but the Nordic blood runs deep in these people. I've seen someone grilling. I've seen someone grilling in this weather. I'm just letting you know. The lie that Minnesotans really don't feel the cold, it's not a lie. It's the truth. It's just a fact. Let's get into our first story. It's about Pam Bondi, because I think she was drunk at the hearing, honestly, at the judiciary appearance. If you don't know about it, we're going to review some of her iconic clips that we got from her. She went Real Housewives. She demanded apologies. She was a real-time bitch. Let's get into it right now. Go. We're going to review some heated moments from Pam Bondi's House Judiciary appearance. As it appears, she went day drinking before she showed up on Capitol Hill today, following a high-stakes appearance by Pam Bondi in front of the House Judiciary Committee. What was expected to be a standard oversight hearing quickly descended into, quote, a series of heated moments as lawmakers clashed over her testimony. However, the policy debate is being currently overshadowed by a wave of social media speculation regarding Bondi's demeanor, with some critics and observers suggesting that she appeared visibly off balance or unusually aggressive during the proceedings. This is a very light way to say that she came across like, okay, I've been to Minneapolis many times in my life. Many times as a child, I went down and I visited my aunt. She was this fun lady. She was this really colorful, she, in the 90s, let's just put it, she was gay before it was cool. It was like before Ellen came out, and you know what I mean? So I think that this sort of just inspired a wrathful spirit, you know what I mean? A spirit of rebellion, and she just carried it in every conversation that she had. Every time that she would get a drink in her or start smoking cigarettes on her backyard, she would go into lecture mode. It was, you need to know this. This is exactly, and then, I'm sorry, Pam Bondi was giving my aunt in just smoking cigs, talking about her ex-wives, talking about fucking, the gay 90s, talking about, and I love it. I'm just saying I miss this energy. Like it's an energy because I don't go down to the cities too terrible often and whatnot. It's like it's refreshing to catch people where it's like, oh, I feel like you started at 10 a.m. You've been drinking since then, and you're like, man, the fun spirits that are just like, they're up before you. They are like drinking coffee, but they're smoking cigarettes and they're drinking like early in the day, and they're like, let's go to a fucking art museum and walk around. That energy is just so fucking cool and fun to be around, but admittedly, it's a lot because it's like, holy shit, you're like autistic during some of these rambly bits where it's like, and you can't get a word in. It's like, everybody with an aunt knows what I'm talking about. Every person with an aunt, whether they're a lesbian, whether they're straight, whether they're whatever, if they have spirit, if they have grit, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Or if it wasn't an aunt, it was a grandma, it was a mom, it was whatever it was to you. You had someone who just told it to you like they fucking saw it. Whether or not that was what it is, they just told you like they saw it. And you know what I mean? Let's continue. Pam Bondi, she's gonna serve aunt energy, folks.
So trick questions here. The American people have a right to know the answers to this.
Okay, that's not her. This is someone questioning Pam Bondi.
These are senior officials in the Trump administration. This is not a game, Secretary. I'm Attorney General. My apologies, I couldn't tell.
Oh.
By 2008, we knew that Epstein was a convicted sexual abuser. And we now know that Lutnick went to Epstein's Island in 2012.
Revolutionary.
I have 20 seconds of his time.
So that'd be up to the gentleman, but...
Absolutely, madam.
Thank you.
Oh, here we go, guys. Aunt energy.
I was curious if you, Congresswoman, asked Bill Clinton that. Didn't see one tweet, not one. I didn't see one tweet when Joe Biden was in office about Bill Clinton.
Yep, she just got home. She just got home. It was either from fucking Starbucks or like some bar. Like she has just gotten home. You're staying at her house because you're hanging out, you know what I mean? You come down to the cities every now and then, and she is ready to talk. She is fucking... Ooh, someone really pissed me off earlier today.
Didn't ask Merrick Garland anything about Epstein, not once.
Not once.
He was weak sauce. And also, I want the record to reflect that, with this anti-Semitic culture right now, she voted against a resolution condemning.
Oh,
is Jewish.
I
just want to be clear.
Do
you want to go there, Attorney General?
Or
do you want to go there? Are you
belongs to the
serious?
gentleman
Talking
from
about
South
anti-Semitism
Carolina.
to a woman who lost her grandfather in the Holocaust?
my time.
Really?
T.
In order.
Talk to Jared Wise about anti-Semitism.
The fact of the matter is that you will be...
Ooh, here we go. Jasmine Crockett. I'm sorry. As you all know, philosopher... Can I call her a scholar? Can I call her a scholar? Get it, guys? You see what I did there? A scholar. She's redefining what it means to be an intellectual woman in the 2020s. Honestly, you guys, your gender, I'm sorry to say, is going to be remembered for figures like this, these revolutionary minds. The Rosa Parks are gone. All of the interesting politicians, like maybe Nancy Pelosi, sure, she traded in bad stocks, all those sorts of bullshit, but she's not up there giving us revolutionary lines like the tic-tac-toe, a winner anymore. We're not getting those revolutionary ideas that they're going to put on the backs of books, like who was Nancy Pelosi, and draw her like a caricature. That's like, I'm sorry, we're losing revolutionary figures. You guys are going to be represented by this.
Remembered as one of the worst attorney generals in history. An attorney general who has prioritized obstruction over justice, corruption over the law, fealty to the president over loyalty to the Constitution. And Mr. Chairman, I will yield.
Gentleman yields. Gentleman from Missouri is recognized. Gentleman from Kansas, the Attorney General, former Attorney General, Mr. Schmidt is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and General Bondi, thanks for being here. Did you have anything you wanted to say before we talk?
I do. Thank you.
I do, actually. The waiter at the gay 90s, I'm 90% sure is straight. He has such the sloppiest haircut, and he goes out back, and I think he hangs out in this van with his girlfriend. I see it every night. His long hair can't fucking fool me. I swear to God, it looks unwashed. A gay man would have it washed. It's just like, I see your observations. You're brilliant.
Thank you. My friend for many years. I find it interesting that she didn't even want to try Congresswoman Crockett to ask any questions, because she certainly did not condemn her leader, Hakeem Jeffries, for taking money from Jeffrey Epstein after Epstein was convicted. And I will
Not exactly a wrong point. It's just delivered in such an aggressive cunt tone that is so just unnecessary.
brief to give you your time, Congressman. This is what she didn't want to talk about. Texas, from Cuba, convicted, homicide, arson, weapon offense.
Convicted. So what we talking about? Convict some of these perpetrators that rape these women that are sitting behind you, and you refuse to even acknowledge they are here.
Merrick Garland sat in this chair twice.
Merrick Garland.
Twice. No, can I finish my answer?
No, I'm
Can
gonna
I
reclaim my
finish?
time because I asked you a
Attorney General,
specific
yes, sir.
question
Attorney General
that
can
I
respond
would
to your
like
question.
him to answer, which is, will you turn to the survivors? This is not about anybody that came before you. It is about you taking responsibility for your Department of Justice and the harm that it has done to the survivors who are standing right behind you and are waiting for you to turn to them and apologize for what your Department of Justice has done.
Members get to ask the questions, the witness get to answer in the way they want to answer. The Attorney General can
That's
respond.
not accurate, Mr. Chairman.
Because
That
she
is
doesn't like
accurate.
the answer. So,
Mr. Chairman,
why?
How about you
I
learn
asked-
something,
she
Pramila?
asked Merrick Garland this.
I am
twice.
reclaiming
He
my
sat in
time,
my
and
chair.
when I
will
reclaim my
continue to
time,
answer.
it is
Mr. Chairman, the gentlelady has
I'm
reclaimed
not
her
going
time.
to get in the gutter for her theatrics.
The time belongs to the gentlelady. The gentlelady has 17 seconds.
Thank you. You're not going to answer this question, so let me just
Chairman,
say
I'll
this.
direct it to
What a
you.
massive...
No, I'm
Oh my
not
gosh.
going to
Chairman, will you restore her time? The witness is
I'm not
interrupted.
going to get in the gutter with this woman.
Stop the
She's
time.
doing
Oh, this is
theatrics.
great.
Chairman
How many
Jordan,
of you
I'm
indicted?
not going to get in the gutter with these people,
How
but
many of you-
I'm going to answer the question.
How many of you indicted? Again, the time belongs to
Reclaiming my time.
the time
Well,
belongs.
I think it's very
Reclaiming
interesting.
my time.
I think it's very
Reclaiming my
interesting.
time.
You can
that
Oh
he
my
talks
God.
about They indicted
Mr.
the
Chair.
president.
She's
said they-
ready to fight. She's holding that pen like a fucking cigarette. She's ready. Like I think it's interesting that you don't want to talk about this. She's whatabouting. I love that. Is my favorite thing that all of these messy people will do. They will throw out non sequiturs. What about this? What about this? What about this? You do this. You're a hypocrite. You're this. You're this. And it's like, well, you're on a pedestal to lecture. You've lived a life of chaos beyond anybody else.
Indicted him twice.
Mr. Chairman, please
They
stop the
sure
clock
did.
and
And
stop the
he
clock and
indicted-
restore his time.
Okay, here we go with these
Committee will get order.
theatrics.
The time
Reclaiming my
belongs
time
to the
and
gentleman
back
from
the
New
clock,
York.
please.
We will give you a few more seconds. We will do that. But when you ask a question, the witness
question
gets to
was-
answer. You may not like the answer, but she
Right.
gets to
The
answer.
question was, how many of Epstein's...
They don't like the answer,
Reclaiming
Chairman,
my time.
because
Oh
it's
my
honest.
God.
Reclaiming-
So he asked a 4-minute question.
Restore 45
and
seconds,
I
Mr.
am
Nadler,
going
please,
to
Mr. Chairman.
answer.
You can
Shut
let her
up.
finish all day long, but not on our watch.
Reclaim-
Not on our time. No way. And I told you about that, Attorney General, before you started.
You don't tell me.
Yeah, I did
anything,
tell you because we
washed
saw
up.
what you did in the
This
Senate.
is hilarious. You don't tell me. I swear to God, I've seen this so many times. It's when they really chimp out. It's when they start going, this is how it is. This is how it is. And it's like, okay, I understand that's how you feel. That's really okay. Everyone is welcome to feel how they'd like to feel. It's any race, any creed, any gender, quite frankly. But I've seen it more often in aunts than I've seen in uncles, because uncles, I love, you know what I mean? Their energy is just completely divorced from the aunts. I'm sorry. Aunts, they are spirits unbound. They are horses that cannot be tamed. And that is a beautiful energy that inspires you for a lifetime. Uncles, they ground you in many ways. They give you these solid beam posts where it's like, oh yeah, that's an exemplary way of being. That's a sort of example of like how I can lead my life. And then you look at other people in your life that are like uncle over there, uncle him, he's doing this. Oh shoot, that's how my life can turn out pretty legit. Pretty cool, but I don't know. The aunt energy is just so much more fun. I don't know. It's because I think they're more opinionated more often than not.
Not even a lawyer.
Committee will be in order.
Time, and I should get back at least 45 seconds.
Will you create a joint task force of the Department of Justice and governors and state attorney generals and district attorneys across the country to investigate the crimes that have taken place against these victims and more than 1,000 like them? The DOJ is not doing its job. Will you create a task force with state and local law enforcement to make that happen?
Is she not going to answer?
She wants to.
Thank you, Chairman. He called Chase Mulligan a wild goose chase and didn't even know who he was. He is a defendant in your own district who preyed on girls.
Mr. Chairman.
Well, you know what? If he were part of the Epstein investigation, you wouldn't do anything about it.
Online chat rooms and committed sextortion. Yet he didn't even know in your tiny little district who he
Chairman,
was.
she's embarrassing you.
He's about to
This is your committee, and she is embarrassing you. This is my time.
Within 40 minutes, you asked me a question. Within 40 minutes, Wexner's name was added back.
Within 40 minutes of me catching you red-handed.
Oy.
There was one redaction out
Where
of
he's
over
listed as a
4,700,
co-conspirator.
and we invited you in.
We invited you
Trump
in.
derangement syndrome.
Trump derangement
You're
syndrome.
a failed politician.
Then they resort to that is the final guys, the final key to understanding the drunk aunt is that she will finally resort to insults. If the rest of her arsenal is not effective, it will be, you are small-minded. Your life you've lived is small. Your entire way of being is littler than me. I know more than you. I've lived a life fuller than you. Shut up, shut up, shut up. You're dumb. And then you are deranged. You're focused on things that aren't even real. They make you feel like it's fucking 1984. They are the truth police, and they go, this is the new truth. This is the way it is. And I miss that energy. I love drunk aunts that are just ready to pounce off. They're ready to fucking give it to you anytime, where it's just fucking, this is it. This is how I feel. And you are going to listen whether you like it or not. And listen, if that is not your aunt, if it is not your uncle, if it is not like a mom, if it is not a grandpa or something, get one in your life, because those people are valuable. They are valuable for making your internal thoughts feel a little more grounded and sane. They're the people who are willing to go out and put their opinions out there and go, this is how fucking crazy I am, make everybody else around them feel a little bit better about themselves, because they go, man, I know stuff about politics, but I'm not going that far. That's the beauty that these sorts of people serve to us. That's the true godliness of these aunts. We have to preserve them. They're a dying species, quite frankly. You see them less frequently on Facebook, and cherish everyone that you see, please, because they are a species that is going out with Gen X. Millennials are starting to realize it's cringe. Well, not with the ICE stuff is starting to ignite more with the like the millennial crowd, but honestly, Gen Z, they're realizing that it's cringe. They're not posting those sorts of things. They're smashing themselves in the face with hammers to mog and get better jawbones or whatever. Like, I'm just trying to be honest with you people. We're moving in an interesting direction as a culture, and I love it. I'm very, very, very excited for where this is going to go. I hope this makes day drinking in public very common. I'm looking forward to that new era that the Trump administration's bringing in with Pete and Miss Bondi. Ladies and gentlemen, we got more stuff to cover. Well, why don't we hop into our next story, because it is a very fun one. And I'm going to dedicate an entire story to it because I care about it that much. And it affects an audience that I've been trying to reach out to. The HGTV viewership, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin. HGTV, if you're not aware, has canceled Rehab Addict over... Let's call it a choice of words, ladies and gentlemen. HGTV viewers, if you're not aware, HGTV, it stands for the Home and Garden Television Network. We're going to go ahead and just assume that most of my audience, I've checked the statistics, most of you are, I'd say, above the age of 35, because I talk about a lot of topics that do not interest my age group, quite frankly. So, HGTV, I looked at this and I said, this is a perfect story to really grab that network, to grab those viewers. So folks, don't let me lose you yet. Following a controversy, they have canceled this home renovation series, Rehab Addict, if you're not aware, over an offensive remark that surfaced this week. The incident is centering on the moment where a racial slur was allegedly used. Not allegedly. We have the footage, and I'm going to play it for you, so warning. The N-word is used in this clip, unfortunately. And listen, I'm not saying I like it. I'm not saying that it's funny, although it is hilarious the way that she says it so clean. It comes out as though she'd been saying it for her entire life, which listen, some people do. And listen, if you don't know somebody who regularly drops an N-bomb, congrats on living in like a pretty policed area of via language. But honestly, if you've grown up in any town with a population less than 10,000, you've heard the N-word at least once. Let's call it a month at the cleanest, maybe once a week at the worst school. At the cleanest school, maybe once a month. At the worst school, maybe once a week. But honestly, it's you know, kids use slurs. Unfortunately, no one wants to say it. No one wants to admit it. But unfortunately, kids just use these words, and especially now after the cleanup age of like, hey, we can't say retard. We can't say certain other words. We can't say spick. We can't say guinea. We can't say kraut, we can't say Jap, even though we won all of those in World War II. That's just the truth. We claimed all of those ones as a war trophy, and I don't think that our licenses ran out on them, because quite frankly, they just sound funny at this point. But she says this one, which I will choose personally not to repeat at this current moment, because I don't want to get this taken down more so than I'm already going to get it probably taken down for just the one time, because you know YouTube, you know how they be slaying people these days. But anyways, I'm going to play you this incredible clip. Nicole Curtis, she the host of Rehab Addict, folks. Let's begin.
Why? It's my last one. Oh, fart nigger. What the fuck is that I just said? Nick, you gotta, can you kill that? Oh, fuck my life.
Oy, jeez. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let's address the combination of words she chose. The first one being fart, the next one being the N-word. I feel as though this combination of words doesn't slip out that cleanly unless it is like a cutesy phrase you're used to saying around the house. Like if you drop a dish, you go, oh, fart. I think that is probably the level of comfortability is for it to slide out this cleanly, ladies and gentlemen. Let's review it one more time.
Why? It's my last one.
She goes, why? It's my last one, because she's cutting this sort of cord or something, and it looks like she fucks it up, I think.
Oh, fart nigger. What the fuck is that I just said? Nick, you gotta...
She goes, what the fuck is that I just said? And she goes, hey, Nick, you gotta cut that. Can you kill that?
Can you kill that? Oh, fuck my life.
What a way to end a career, quite frankly, you guys. She calls herself a rehab addict. I'm a rehabilitated image addict. I'm ready to have her on the podcast. I'm ready to have her apologize publicly. I'm ready to have her re-enter the public space already, because honestly, this cancel culture stuff, it's just like too much, right? Right? That's just like, you can't cancel someone for saying that. I mean, this one, I think, listen, maybe losing your show, absolutely. Do we need to kill you and your family? No, I don't think that's the solution, but like, you know, maybe a little bit of a public shaming for a moment. I think, I love this. This is a good cultural moment because it allows us to contend with what is the appropriate punishment for someone getting caught, just kind of flagrantly using it on a live stream like this. Maybe losing the show, because clearly you have a level of comfortability around it to where it's like, okay, this is network money. You know, I don't think that, you know, you're welcome to use whatever language you want, not in front of people watching this with their kids, you know what I mean, on a live stream. Not that people are watching this with their kids, honestly. It's language that, you know, why are you using it on network television? It's not helping you. I think that I can get away with saying certain things because I'm relatively independent, and like, honestly, I use slurs that are quite frankly not offensive when you break them down. Kraut, who is that offending? Germans? What are you gonna do? Balance a beer on yourself? I don't know what you're gonna do. You're gonna threaten me? Excuse you? You haven't been a powerful country since, what was it again? 45. Then you got broken up. You guys haven't done anything meaningful since then. You build cars that are really complicated that everybody loves but no one wants to buy. Everybody loves but no one wants to buy because they cost a shit ton to actually service. I'm sorry, the Germans are a weak people, and I think we won Kraut. We won Kraut as a result, you know. And listen, if I was a politician, would I want me saying this? No. No, because I'm not mayor of a town. You know what I mean? I'm an individual creating a podcast that you can choose to tune into or not. You know what I mean? I'm not taking HGTV's money and saying kraut. I'm not saying guinea with HGTV money. I'm not doing that, but this... Okay, what's the appropriate punishment? 4 months in the gulag? Are we sending her to Alligator Alcatraz? Probably not. But is it appropriate? Maybe. Maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe when AOC wins the presidency in 2028, that's what they'll do. It's going to be an overreaction, because you know that America, they will do the right thing only after they've tried everything else. They are going to overreact to the Trump administration thing. They're going to fling open the borders in the 2028 after they win, because obviously this ICE stuff, if the social unrest continues, they're going to suffer hard in the midterms. They're going to suffer harder in the next election, and then AOC will be the president because everybody's going to, or Zora Mamdani with her as the vice president, whatever. That's a ticket. That is a nerve-wracking ticket, dude. That is a earth-shattering ticket for the Republicans. I mean, it's got diversity, it's got a woman. What are you going to do if that happens? But quite frankly, AOC, Zora Mamdani, they're eyeing up these prisons that they are putting, immigrants in right now, and they're going, we're going to put people who like tweet things that we don't like in them. And honestly, what else would you want them to do? I think that's is it the right reaction? Probably. We got to do something here. Obviously, as Americans, we're never going to do the right thing. We're never going to do the right thing first. So are we just going to have like camps? Sure. Like, yeah, let's do it. Let's you know what I mean? Like, are we going to civil war first? Sure. Why not? This is a satirical show. We're not obviously endorsing these ideas. We're making fun of the people who endorse these ideas. Ladies and gentlemen, Rehab Addict, if you were a fan, I'm sorry that she just went ahead and tanked her career. She tanked your favorite show. It's a really, really unfortunate situation for people who have nothing to do throughout the day. This is the shit that Rehab Addict was doing, by the way.
I buy and sell houses, but I'm not your average flipper. Oh my god!
Oh my god.
HGTV pulling the new season of Rehab Addict just hours before it was set to air and scrubbing the show from its streamers after Radar Online released footage of star Nicole Curtis using the N-word on set of the series, which seemingly surprised even her, as she asks the crew to cut that after realizing it flew out of her mouth.
Listen, she had no life, honestly, before this. She had she said her life goal was like, I rehab houses, but I'm not like other house rehabilitationers. You mean other people don't tear out the drywall? Other people don't fucking change out the flooring? Other people don't do all that garbage? What are you talking about? This is common house rehabilitation work. I don't even know what she's like. Where's the individuality?
Not only is language like this hurtful and disappointing to our viewers, partners, and employees, it does not align with the values of HGTV. We remain dedicated to fostering a culture of respect and inclusion across our content and our workplace.
Every day this market is so volatile.
The show's actually been off the air since last summer, when the 49-year-old Detroit-based renovator reportedly asked the network to shelve season 9 for...
Of course she's from Detroit.
...unknown reasons, before announcing its surprise return earlier this week.
This represents the job that I never knew I wanted, and the job that I'm so grateful that I worked so hard to...
Look at that. She's wearing a Lakeshirts shirt, it looks like. She's at a TED Talk in Detroit, and she's wearing a Lakeshirts shirt. What good advertising for them.
Nicole addressing the cancellation on her Instagram stories, telling fans there is more to this, framing the decision as hers to protect her family. I need to be mom right now more than anything else.
I need to be mom right now more than anything else. I really need to reevaluate the language that I use. That's not what she said, but maybe.
I will take the time to be, as I've always been with you, transparent and honest. Adding in a screenshot from a text she sent to TMZ about the controversy, I'm grateful for the 15-year journey we've shared, but my focus isn't on my career. My focus at the moment is rightfully on the people who truly know my character and where my heart is.
I truly know my character and where my heart is.
I want to be clear. The word in question is wrong and not part of my vocabulary and never has been. And I apologize to everyone.
Listen, I know a Midwest sister when I see one. I know one who's been to the football games. I know a girl who's been to she's grown up in the Midwest. She never thought she'd have cameras on her. She grew up in a time where people were allowed to say certain things, and people still are to a certain degree nowadays, because admittedly, the black population in a lot of these smaller towns, it's just not there yet for the white kids to be getting punched out when they use that sort of language around those people. You know what I mean? It's just being honest. You know what I mean? That is what corrects this language, is that people who grow up in the city, is they grow up near their friends and whatnot, and their friend pops them in the mouth for using that sort of language too comfortably. That's what keeps people in line inadvertently. Am I saying I endorse it? Absolutely not. Am I saying that it's expected? Arguments can be made, you know what I mean? Am I saying that maybe one of her girlies, maybe she should have grown up around a sister, maybe, and maybe her sister, growing up in the suburbs of Chicago, or not Chicago, Detroit, growing up in the suburbs of Detroit, maybe a sister that she went to school with could have let her know, hey, maybe not even at home, because then when you're just getting comfortable with yourself, when you're live streaming one day, maybe it'll just come out when you don't even realize it. And also, why do you even like to use it? Like, honestly, maybe you should just think about why you like to use that word so much. And I don't know, guys. This is a curious one. And did we lose a relic of American television that entertained generations? No. Did we lose someone of significant value to the zeitgeist or the media? No, not really. So why are we even talking about it? Because she said fart N-word, and that's hilarious to me. So I wanted to talk about it, and I wanted all of you to hear it. I wanted to force all of you to hear it today. So that's why I forced you to listen to it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to jump into the rapid fire section of today's headlines, because I have nothing else on that one. That's literally all the entire reason I covered it, is because I wanted one of my episodes to have the N-word in it. Ha 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 ha. I win. Ladies and gentlemen, and I didn't even have to be the one to say it. It was some other lady, so I don't get canceled. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a bunch of headlines that we're going to cover. We're going to get into. We're going to have some fun, you know what I mean? There's a ton of shit you need to know about to keep your media diet healthy that I don't have a ton of time to write a bunch of paragraphs for every single thing. So we're going to just run through them one by one. The United States government, it's probably nearing a partial shutdown. The United States Congress is failing to advance the Department of Homeland Security's funding bill. It's raising the strong likelihood of a partial government shutdown beginning as early as Friday, as the standoff centers on Democrats' push for immigration enforcement reforms, including body cam requirements and judicial oversight. Republicans have rejected that. Whatever happens. The United States Gerald R. Ford has been deployed to the Middle East. That doesn't feel nice. The United States is sending its largest aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald R. Ford, and accompanying strike group to the Middle East, intensifying its military footprint amid regional tensions. Is that nice? I don't think so. Instagram CEO is testifying in a landmark social media addiction trial. Leave him alone. He's going to ruin Reels.
The landmark social media addiction trial playing out in Los Angeles right now.
If they hold him accountable, he's going to ruin Instagram Reels. He's going to censor everything. He's going to take away all of our good memes. They cannot hold Instagram accountable. I'm standing up for Instagram. I'm standing up for big tech. They're going to ruin our For You page if they hold these people accountable.
CEO taking the stand today, its parent company Meta, and Google's YouTube are accused of designing their sites to be addictive for younger users, and both companies deny these allegations, saying that they have protective features in place for young people. In a statement today, Meta says, quote, "The question for the jury in Los Angeles is whether Instagram was a substantial factor in the plaintiff's mental health struggles. The evidence will show that she faced many significant, difficult challenges well before she ever used social media."
Nice. Meta spokesperson is like, she had issues before she went on Instagram, which it's kind of a good argument. Why did her parents let her on Instagram? It's all up to the parents. I love that the parents, they're going, social media has real addiction problems. Why'd you buy the phone? This is completely optional. These are services that are not mandatory, not necessary. You can get your kid a flip phone. It's not that hard. That is the truth that nobody wants to admit. Bangladesh, their election results are in. There is a historic BNP victory. The Bangladeshi pivotal parliamentary elections, the Bangladesh Nationalist Party, BNP, secured a decisive conclusive majority, the first win since a wave of such since the unrest of 2024. Win is positioning the leader Tariq Rahman to assume leadership, potentially reshaping policy direction for the next few years. North Korea's 9th Party Congress looms. North Korea is preparing to convene its 9th Congress of the Workers' Party, a major public event, what the fuck am I even saying? Where leader Kim Jong-un is expected to consolidate power and outline national priorities, including military advancements and economic plans. Speaking around the idea of him consolidating power, speculation is surrounding potential leadership changes or the possible elevation of Kim's daughter. Did anybody know that he had a daughter? This is kind of new news to me, but according to this, Kim Jong-un has chosen his teen daughter, Kim Ju-ae, Kim J-U, and then there's a space A-E, as his heir. What? They're going to let the woman lead? It's obviously going to be a puppet government, but that's probably how it's been with the last few Kim generations. It's obviously not one man at the top. It takes a lot of people, making the entire system work. The Koreans are very efficient with that. Whatever they want to do, they can't take away the fact that New Jersey man is apparently believed to be the oldest man in the United States. At how old is he? 111?
111-year-old from New Jersey is
Damn.
believed to be the oldest man living in the United States.
How many years you need? Damn.
Substitute Luis Cano and gives us the secret to his long life.
Meet Luis Cano. He wears his age as a badge of honor. ¿Cuántos años tienes?
How many years old are you?
111 years old, he tells me with pride. Born in Colombia, now living in Linden, New Jersey, he's the oldest man in the United States. And
Damn.
that makes him happy. His age validated after his last birthday by LongeviQuest, an organization that tracks the world's oldest people.
Damn.
On December 9th, 1914, Cano is the 12th oldest man globally.
¿Cómo te sientes?
Bien. How do you feel, I ask? Good, he replies.
Bien.
Cano married Alicia Aranjo Cano in 1948. They had 10
Damn.
children, 11 grandchildren, 5 great-grandchildren, and 2 great-great-grandchildren. The couple moved to Far Rockaway, New York in the 90s.
God damn.
He describes living in the United States as the accomplishment of his lifetime.
What a king.
Alicia passed in 2004, and shortly after, Luis moved to Linden, where he lives with 2 of his children now. Nowadays, he spends most of his time looking out the window, sometimes reflecting.
By the way, that's the end for most of us. Most of us, the most that we're gonna have to look forward to is if our families put us in a nice window. Because most of us, we're not a multi-generational home country. We're not that sort of thing. We're cowboys. We all live on our own. We all live individually. We all live sort of living our own lives, living our own successes until we find out that one of us dies. And then all of them ride the horses back. They ride them back east, ride them back west, and then they meet up at the burial ground, and they all take off their hats and they pay their respects. And then everybody the next morning, you're the last one to wake up, and then the campfire's still smoldering, but everybody else, they've packed up their tents. And you realize that, oh man, this lifestyle, this country, this world is really alone. And that ultimately, we go to sleep alone. We live alone. Our thoughts are alone. We all ultimately are alone. No matter how much we surround ourselves with family, friends, anything, you're ultimately alone. No one will ever know you like you know you. And that is something that everyone will come to realize one day, is that you are an enigma to everyone else except for yourself. You are your own greatest mystery, but everybody else, they will only understand you as much as you let them in. And most of the time, you don't even let them in that far. And then your thoughts, they just turn over in your own head, and then guess what? You're the only person who will ever see those thoughts. You're the only person who will ever think the way that you do. Try to tell people about it. Try to write it down. Try to put it out there. Try to let the people know that something with your mind was here. It was around. It did things. It thought. It had dreams. It dreamt at night. It loved. It saw. It experienced. It drew breath. It loved. It cared, and it had something to give to this world. And much like Ted Cruz has something to give to this world with how he put the Minnesota professor on blast when they were arguing about how good Somali immigrants are for the population. Let's hear it.
Speaking loudly does not make it true.
Your time has expired.
It just doesn't.
Your time has expired.
God, he's
question
mad.
To the panel, this is my final question. Is importing vast numbers of people from an impoverished nation, putting the majority of them on public welfare for years and decades at a time, and then turning a blind eye while they steal billions of dollars from the taxpayers, is that helping America or hurting America? Each of you has a chance to answer.
Probably hurting.
It is not unusual for immigrant populations to have a high degree of assistance early in after their arrival.
But that's not the case. It's that they're staying on after their arrival, long after their arrival. Stop trying to make points that don't actually address the question. This is Mr. Eric Schwartz. He's a Minnesota professor, and he clearly does not want to go back to the University of Minnesota and get protested for telling the truth. So he's out here to flagrantly defend the idea that it's like, guys, stop asking questions. Just because it's Somalis mostly doing it, that has nothing to do with culture. It has, stop it. Stop asking questions. Stop it.
But we are already seeing statistics that the net benefit economically of Somali presence in the United States far outweighs the cost.
So your testimony is this massive welfare usage is helping America, and the fraud is helping America?
Not the fraud. We need to
win. This is a rare Ted Cruz win. I'm sorry. I'm a cruise missile right now. I'm in love with it.
To go after the fraud, which makes all inexplicable the Trump administration's decision to take actions that has decimated the U.S. Attorney's Office in Minnesota.
What do you mean? No. They haven't decimated the U.S. Attorney's Office. The U.S. attorneys resigned because of the flagrant amounts of fraud, the fact that they've been speaking out for the longest amount of time, and they've all been resigning because there's no accountability, and they don't feel like they're working in an actual place with accountability. There you go.
But I can't understand it. Can you understand
it? Simple question.
You can't understand it because you're a retard that they call a professor.
Is this helping America or hurting America?
The Somali presence in the United States is helping America.
They're helping us. They're helping us dramatically, despite the fact that we gave them the helping hand after their civil war in the early 90s. We gave them the helping hand. We've done nothing but give them the helping hand. The count of them on welfare is ridiculous. If you address it per capita with other immigrant populations, it just doesn't match up. It doesn't. It is an issue inherently with the population staying on welfare. Other immigrant populations that come to Minnesota do not behave this way.
For the Minnesota taxpayers who had $9 billion stolen from them, sir, the Minnesota taxpayers who had $9 billion stolen from them, it has not helped them, and the American taxpayers who are supporting a dependent population who are here for one reason, and that is to vote Democrat and give money to elect Democrats, and if it robs the American taxpayers and endangers our security, for our Democrat colleagues, that is a perfectly acceptable trade-off.
Speaking loudly does not make it true.
Your time has expired.
It just doesn't.
Your time has expired.
Blah, 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 blah. Listen, he can throw out as many arguments as he wants to try to smokescreen the issue. That's perfectly fine. That's okay. Ladies and gentlemen, there has been a pride flag that has been re-raised at the Stonewall Monument. If you don't know about Stonewall, it's probably good because if you know nothing about Stonewall, you know about as much as 90% of the actual LGB population. And I say LGB because generally LGB and the T they're different in many different ways. New York City officials have rehoisted the pride flag at Stonewall National Monument after its removal by the Trump administration, igniting debates over civil rights symbolism. Man, feel however you'd like. It's but hang a flag. I don't have an issue. Belarus, they can hang their flag, but Belarusian opposition leader has spoken at the Munich conference. If you don't know, the opposition figure Svetlana Kaya, there we go, addressed the women's political leaders gathering at the Munich Security Conference. She emphasized democratic resistance and gendered perspectives on global security. Her presence she said, is highlighting ongoing issues issues and struggles against authoritarianism in Eastern Europe. Apparently, according to her, Eastern Europe hates women. I didn't know this. I didn't know this was such a chronic issue. I didn't, interesting. Thank you for letting us all know. Are they going to do anything to address it? Probably not. Australian political leadership, there is a big shakeup. If you don't know, the Liberal Party underwent a leadership change with Angus Taylor replacing Susan Ley as the party leader following a caucus vote. Taylor's hardline immigration rhetoric signals a potential shift in the domestic policy debates and intra-party dynamics that could shift national politics well ahead of the elections. Australians, guys, weirdly enough, Australians, one of the kindest people, are starting to wake up to the immigration issue. It's very curious, and I wonder how long it's going to take for America to wake up to it. Given the fact that we're having people die for this sort of stuff, we're having people get shot in the streets so far, I don't know how well it's going to go. We need to get past the mind virus element where it's like, oh no, immigration just from everywhere is good, globalism is good, cultures don't exist, and like everybody should just be allowed to come in no matter where they're from. That, I don't know how long that is really going to hold up, especially under new scrutiny with people, especially younger people, oddly enough, getting woken up to the immigration issue. I don't know how long that's going to last. I think that it's going to die out after maybe the millennial generation. I don't know. That's my best assumption, is because that I feel like they were the last solid generation that was indoctrinated into the idea of absolute globalism, where it's like, cultures are not different in any way, shape, or form, and open borders might be a great idea to test out. I don't know. Who knows? I love to predict the future. Our final headline we're going to cover, actually, this is really important. The Nancy Guthrie, the final report has been issued by police. Details of the scene are now available. Here's the words from the Pima County Sheriff's Office. Quote, as he came into the window, it was the sound of a crescendo. He came into her apartment. He left the bloodstains on the carpet. She ran underneath the table. He could see she was unable. So she ran into the bedroom. She was struck down. It was her doom. Nancy, are you okay? So, Nancy, are you okay? Are you okay, Nancy? Nancy, are you okay? So, Nancy, are you okay? Are you okay, Nancy? Nancy, are you okay? Will you tell us that you're okay? There's a sign in the window that he struck you, a crescendo, Nancy. He came into your apartment, left the bloodstains on the carpet. Then you ran into the bedroom. You were struck down. It was your doom. Nancy, are you okay? So, Nancy, are you okay? Are you okay, Nancy? You've been hit by your own children. This is fascinating. Did anyone else see this coming? I didn't, quite frankly. Folks, I guess that's a close on the Nancy Guthrie case. I'm just kidding. Obviously, they're still searching for her. They're never going to stop searching for her. They will, guys, you will have grandchildren's grandchildren who will be searching for Nancy Guthrie. Ladies and gentlemen, let's cover our last headline so that you can all be excused to your wonderful weekends. It's Valentine's Day weekend or Galentine's Day, Palentine's Day, whatever you celebrate, whatever gay holiday you celebrate besides Valentine's Day. It's very fun. I hear about Galentine's Day, Palentine's Day. It's like, just admit that you guys want to hang out and get a little closer than you normally would when you're playing Call of Duty. That's just like, hey, I don't judge bros wanting to be bros or hoes wanting to be hoes. It's chill. I love it. It's gals wanting to be gals. That's a more respectful way to say it. I love it. Hoes are, that can also refer to men. That's a gender-neutral term. Ho is a gender-neutral term. I've listened to enough rap music to know that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to cover our last headline so that you can all be excused to enjoy your Valentine's Day weekend. It's February 14th, 15th. Have a great time with it. Let's cover our last headline. Go! Ohio State professor has been suspended after a viral video shows a hallway attack on a journalist. Oh, if you don't go to Ohio State, why would you go to Ohio State? Jesus. There's significant turmoil happening today after the school administration officially suspended a professor following a violent confrontation caught on camera. The video, which spread rapidly across social media, shows the faculty member engaging in a physical hallway attack on a journalist who was reportedly on campus to cover a scheduled event. University officials acted quickly, placing the professor on immediate leave, while an internal investigation and potential criminal charges are reviewed. Footage is startling. It captures a heated verbal exchange that accelerates in seconds. According to the witness, this is according to witnesses and video evidence, the professor attempted to block the journalist's path and eventually lunged at the camera equipment, resulting in a physical scuffle. The journalist, who was identified as an independent reporter, was not seriously injured, but has called the incident a blatant violation of the press's freedom and a dangerous precedent to set for the academic environment. I'm going to leave this in the description if you guys want to watch it. I'd highly recommend it because you watch, it looks like Chris Christie. It looks like Chris Christie, quite frankly, but it looks like Chris Farley also. A lot of Chris's are just kind of fat and rotund, but it's no slam on any Chris's. Admittedly, I have never in my life met a slender Chris. I've met many Chris's. I've never met a slender one. I'm just going to be honest with you. Maybe I'm not thinking hard enough. If I've met you and you're a Chris and you're slender, I'm genuinely apologetic right now. Anyways, Ohio State professor, take it away.
There's someone. No.
Whoa!
Ooh! I told you not to put that in my face.
I think he took a right hook. Look at that. Like, I see that he walks towards the camera, and then first things first, so he slaps the camera down with his right hand. He baps, it looks like, another camera down with his left hand, and then he takes his right hand again after knocking down one thing, and right hook punches the guy that's trying to film him and takes him to the ground.
I told you not to put that in my face.
Dude, you can't do that.
You did. No, I'm not going to ask you to Don't touch that. Don't touch me, motherfucker. Who the put your hands on me, sir? You put your hands on me, sir. God damn, dude. You shoved that camera into my face, sir.
That's not...
You shoved that camera into my face, sir. He's trying to be respectful about it. Is this an SNL skit?
Dude, that's crazy.
No, sir.
No, sir. He looks like George Santos. I recognize that pudgy, like, brown little face anywhere.
Put your hands on me, sir.
He looks like me when I was fat.
Damn, dude. You shoved that camera into my face, sir.
That's not... Dude, that's crazy.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Serious, dude?
He walks away all brave.
Did you get that?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to jail, motherfucker.
He walks away all brave. That's assault, brother. You're going to jail, bro. Like, was it warranted? Probably not. In a statement they released, Ohio State emphasized that while they defend the right to free speech, they have zero tolerance for physical violence or intimidation. What is this guy's name? Luke Perez, an assistant professor in the Salmon P. Chase Center for Civics, Culture, and Society. He's exemplary of all of those traits. Civics, culture, and society. Was in the Smith Laboratory hallway, taking two freelance reporters when he launched an alleged attack. Oh man, he was just asking him questions about if he knew people, if he knew Epstein. Burns, a self-proclaimed political gadfly, had interviewed Gee in the hallway about his comments claiming sexual abuse survivors at Ohio State were engaging in, quote, cancel culture. The school's long history with a late convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein and privatized on-campus parking. This is, I would ask if he had, like, if you had a parking spot at a school you didn't attend, does that, in my opinion, suggest that you maybe knew somebody and were a little friendly with them at Ohio State? Maybe. Ohio State, what an appropriate place. That is exactly, actually, I think, where Tommy Boy went to school. So, actually, my comparison to Chris Farley was accurate earlier. This guy looks like he may have spent his childhood running to catch the bus. I understand that he might not have had a nice upbringing. I get when you're teased for being called a little tubby as a kid, it sticks with you. It sits in your brain for the longest time, and you are waiting for a moment where you can have your angry moment. Everybody who has been fat understands this. The rage, it boils inside of you. All of the little comments, all the little people feel comfortable commenting about your your body and whatnot. And then when you get skinny, people feel even more comfortable commenting on your body. And it's like, fuck off. You didn't earn the right to. I did all the work here. So anyways, these people, they'll go ahead and they'll be like, oh, I'm fat and I'm angry and I hate the world. And they sit with that anger and it stews in them. And it's like, you ever hear Kevin James in Grown Ups? He's like, I got 12 seconds of fighting in me and I'm saving it, in case somebody cuts in line in front of me at a Burger King or something. That is what most fat people are waiting for. And this guy's cutting in line at a Burger King was someone asking him as an Ohio State assistant professor, how much do you know about Jeffrey Epstein's connections to the university? And listen, this is a weak explanation because he wasn't getting that close to you with the camera. I think that you're just not good on camera. I think that you're just like a poor public personality. You know this about yourself. You're like, oh, he's catching all my wrong angles. He's catching all my chins. I'm starting to feel self-conscious. Fight. And then he punches the guy in the face a couple times. And then he takes him down to the ground like a big boy, like a big, powerful boy. And guess what? Every fat person is waiting for that deep down in their hearts. They're waiting for the moment that they can go ham on somebody. Ham and cheese on rye. Ham and whole wheat all right, in the words of Weird Al Yankovic. To bring this whole thing full circle, ladies and gentlemen. Ham and whole wheat all right, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you had an all right time with me today, this Friday. I had a wonderful time collecting these stories for you. I had a wonderful time reading them. We're going to have even more to cover over the weekend, you know what I mean? The stories will gather up, and then I will deliver them in a nice parcel, a nice charcuterie board for you Monday. And subscribe if you want to be there for it. Ring the bell if you want notifications, like if you liked it. But in the meantime, I have been Ollie Vogt Larson with your Brain on Air. Thank you so much for listening. I'll catch you after this weekend, and bye-bye.